I'm Mike.
And I'm Adam.
And this is Stuff and Waffle. Two friends talking about stuff, and often as not, waffling with frequent reference to Bond cars.
We've had an automotive incident this week.
Oh, God, that sounds ominous.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yes. Yes. Mother-in-law's vehicle, the Fiesta.
Oh, was it? We were due an MOT?
Yeah, well, that's next month. No, we haven't. Right. It's not going to make it that far.
Oh, right. I thought you said next week. All right, I see. Go on then.
No, next month. No. It's no. But it is up at the garage.
I see.
Well, it's been steadily disintegrating for a while, as discussed. But it started making some very horrible noises this week. And it was kind of sitting weird. It was a bit low at the front. And it's just, Dawn took it out one day and it was making some horrific noises. She thought at one point she actually was driving on a flat tire. It was that kind of noise. She wasn't, but it was making some horrible noises. So we thought, I think this needs looking at. I had to sort of crawl underneath it, but I couldn't really see anything.
Dangling.
Yeah, nothing dangling, no, nothing hanging that I could see. Exhaust was still on and all that kind of malarkey. The wheels weren't wobbly. But owner of said vehicle, being somewhat oblivious to a lot of these issues, and was continuing to use it, popped it in the car wash when she was out one day this week. Mm-hmm. And that made it even worse. So I don't know whether there was something hanging on just because of mud or something. I don't know. Anyway, so that's had to go up the road, and they took it in and made some noises and sort of noises, and we don't know yet. Because we haven't had the full diagnosis, but it's we're down a vehicle at this point, and
probably for the best by the sound of it.
I suspect it may not return, and discussions have turned to potential replacements. So there might be something interesting to come out of it.
When you say a potential replacement, is that it's a really difficult one. It's a delicate topic that I'm trying to deal with here. Is it for your mother-in-law, who is potentially of an age where the question of driving in general comes up?
It does. At the moment, the discussions are a replacement for her. Yes.
Right. Okay.
I know what you're trying not to say.
Yeah, but we've all that have had those awkward conversations, in my case with grandparents.
Yeah. And
you go, look, this might be time to hang up the keys. And it's a really difficult conversation to have, because you go, it's a portion of independence, but versus going, I'd like you to remain with us.
Yes. And other road users to remain with us as well. Yes, indeed, because one of them might be me.
Yes.
At the moment, that discussion isn't being had. At the moment, the discussion is still a replacement vehicle. A shared vehicle between Dawn and her mother has been discussed, but
please not the Cayman.
Don't think that's going. No. Whoa, yeah. Can you imagine?
Can you, the first time out brings it back in two pieces.
That would be the end of that, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it was a really nice one, but no, it's not. No, I don't think that would work because they want very different cars, and quite a lot of the time they want to use their cars at the same time, and they're going in opposite directions. So, at the moment, it's a replacement for her, but we'll see where that conversation ends up, and what the verdict is on the Fiesta. However, I was very surprised at what is at the top of the replacement list, because apparently she has some ideas on this subject.
She has some ideas. Oh, I see. Right. I know what I'd be suggesting. I've got sort of vague ideas, but go on. No, what is the top of your mother-in-law's list?
Well, this really took me by surprise. But the more I thought about it, the more I could actually see it working. A Fiat 500.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Again, I'm going to say something, and I'm going to pick my words carefully and just go. I don't mind a Fiat 500. I've driven a couple. They're quite fun, and just go. Yeah, I see it. You can see why they sold in. Yeah. I see why they sold in big numbers.
Yeah.
And are very popular little cars. Knowing what the current vehicle is like and the life it's led, is the
you have seen it.
Yeah, is the 500 potentially a little too nice?
Well, I suppose it depends which one you buy, but yeah, potentially, I suppose.
I mean, it's one of those things that you just, and I know it sounds stereotypical, but you just assume Honda Jazz.
Yeah, you do. Yes, that's where your mind goes, isn't it? Yes, absolutely, yes, because that was built for that market. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if it was my choice, I'd probably choose the Fiat. Although, I wouldn't for me, because if I was in for that sort of car, I'd have a Mini. I far prefer the Mini, but there was no interest in that when I suggested it. So the Fiat is top of the list. So we'll see what happens there.
This comes back to the thing of going, I think it's a car that might get a little bit of a rough life.
Yeah.
And I think the money, I genuinely think a cheaper option, be it a Honda Jazz, be it a Toyota Yaris.
Yes, that's another one, isn't it? Yeah.
But just something like that, something that's a bit more friendly to the wallet, because you know it's not going to come back in the same state it left in.
It's a risk. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it wouldn't be me that was buying it, although, well, it probably would be me that was ended up buying it, but it wouldn't be my money. Yeah, we'll see. There's been a lot of discussion about a Mazda MX-5 again for the good lady this week. I think that might be a happening thing.
We're going to pull the trigger soon.
I think that one could be coming up quite soon. Yes.
Imminent.
Stop it.
Sorry. Well, that I find much more agreeable.
Oh yeah, I have no problem with that at all.
That's right. So on this, I know we've touched on it before, but for this one, Dawn, correct me if I'm wrong, but Dawn's been looking at third generation NCs. Yes.
Correct. NC 2-litre Sport. Yes. I mean, I've been doing my research. I'm learning about them, and 2-litre Sport NC with the tech package, I think, is where it's at. Oh, and the hard top, not the canvas.
See, that's the bit where that's why you got the sharp intake of breath. I'm not sure that's the right call.
It is living out here. Have you seen how quickly things go green?
Oh, I'm not sure it's the right call. Oh.
I'm quite comfortable with that.
Okay.
What are you not sure about the MX-5 in general, or specifically the hardtop?
Oh, I just prefer a canvas top if it was me.
Well, they both fold down. I mean,
yeah. It's purely a bit of a visual thing, and I'd imagine there's a weight difference as well.
From the reviews I've read, it's negligible.
Okay,
it doesn't make a lot of difference, and the hardtop is a nicer place to be when it's up than the canvas.
Fair enough. Well, yeah,
better
I can see that.
It's quieter, less claustrophobic, easier to maintain, less likely to leak, all those kind of things.
Yeah. That's fair enough.
And being right by the sea here, things do have a tendency to go green quite quickly.
Yeah.
So
I'm
be forever
nitpicking.
out with a scrubbing brush.
Yeah, still a solid choice. I suppose the only thing that I know about on those is, good God, be careful on rust, because they are sneaky.
They are. The third gen, not as bad as the originals.
Not as bad, but I've been told that the NCs can really hide it.
I've seen several that have advertised that are fully undersealed and have been from new. So obviously you can find one of those, and if we can find one with a limited slip diff as well, because it was a factory option.
Very good.
I'm doing my research. I'm learning up.
Yeah.
As you know, I like to know more than the salesman. So which is not much of a challenge, I grant you.
No, turning up really sort of tends to do it.
Kind of does it. Yeah, that's right. So, and I know the NC was not the most sought after model.
No, it wasn't, but I think it gets a raw deal because they were quite nice.
They are quite nice, and you get a lot of extra tech on the NC that you don't get on the A or the B, and you get a substantially newer car for the money. So I think the lady car is going to be one of those, and probably fairly soon.
Well, how soon are we talking? Are we weeks away here?
You could be, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it could be for the summer, you know. Yeah.
Good. Well, please keep us posted on that.
Yeah, my Auto Trader is locked on that at the moment. So
locked in
there, ready to pull that trigger for the win.
Makes you want to puke, doesn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, that could happen. I think about the other one really depends on the prognosis from the garage and how knackered the Fiesta is.
I'm significantly less interested in that one.
Yeah, I know, but it's going on as well.
Yeah, now it's MX-5 time. Is like that's way more interesting.
That's where it's at, isn't it? Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, I think that'll be tremendous actually, and I'd quite enjoy that myself.
Yeah, but it does fall into that issue, doesn't it? Because I mean, if Dawn drives it, perfectly fine. If you drive it, cock.
It's a problem, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially with the roof down.
Yeah.
It's a midlife crisis that you can't really afford, is what that says.
Yeah.
I have tried to garner some interest in a Cayman, but it's coming out. It's coming out second to the Mazda, I'm afraid.
That's a mistake.
Maybe.
No, it's a fact. I like an MX-5, but Cayman is way better.
Well, I've read some discussions online that disagree with that, but anyway, that's, you know.
I'm happy to tackle any keyboard warrior.
It's a matter of opinion.
Yeah. And I'll tackle them face to face. None of this bollocks on a forum.
It's yeah, that's fair. The Mazda's a lot less money, but
I'll grant you it is friendlier to the wallet.
it is cheaper. There's no question about that.
No,
Yes,
that's factually correct.
which we do strive to be, of course.
Yeah, we're on it.
Yeah, so that's all. It's all going on. I've been out in the Jag quite a lot this week. No issues to report.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, I can give you not a lot of updates from my cars.
How's your ear? Is it recovering from your alarm experience?
I tell you what, it's been really painful.
Oh, no.
It's a lot better now, but oh my god, I had a real couple of days of just it was sort of dull ringing, and it was fine, and I could start to hear things again, and then every now and then a piercing pain and noise.
Oh dear, that's not you. Nearly did yourself a nasty there by the sound of it.
Yeah. I still haven't cleared it up. It's still in bits on the decking out the back of the house.
Well, your ear.
The side, unfortunately. I really should just put that in a bin.
But you're not going to use it again, are you? It's not going back in.
It's not a functional bit of equipment. It cannot be repaired. But yeah, my ear's fine. I have had no time to do anything with the Mini other than move it about a bit.
Yeah,
because
fair enough.
it was temporarily in the way, and I moved it.
Yes.
My car needed a bit of a clean, which is fine.
Yes, I did mine at the weekend.
And I thought, I tell you what, it's going to need a fresh coat of wax. So I went rummaging. I need to be informed that I said, I had that. There was that kit of car stuff, and Katie's like, "Oh, I think that got scooped up and slung out." Oh, good. That's handy. So the only thing that survived in the garage is my car shampoo. Everything else is gone.
Oh no! What, your whole collection?
I mean, granted, it wasn't a vast collection, but it was a collection nonetheless.
Yeah. Oh no, you need that stuff.
Yeah, that's gone.
Oh no! You've got to start again.
So I've had to repurchase. And some of the stuff, some of the Maguire stuff has not been in stock. And as luck would have it, it's actually been delivered tomorrow.
Oh, ideal. Oh, just in time for a long weekend.
Yeah, but the weather looks shite.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and I've got more than enough on my plate. The chance of going out to clean the car is that's a distant dream.
Because it's not an unpleasant activity, I don't find.
No, it's not. As long as no one comes and talks to you while you're doing it.
Oh no, I hate that. No. I don't. No, it's my time. I don't. It's not for interrupting.
Yeah, it's a bit like when I cook as well. I like that to be me. I don't want help. I don't want talking. I'm in my zone. The wine's open. I've selected a good selection of music to listen to, and I just put it along. And I take enormous pleasure in my cooking.
Yes, I know. Yeah, I know you do enjoy it.
Yeah. In the same way as I take pleasure in cleaning the car, but it's a process where I mustn't be interrupted.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
I spent quite some time on the Jag on Saturday, and got it looking as best as it can. Discovered a bit of lack appeal here and there, but there we are. That's because things have been repainted at some point and not done very well. So
I suppose it's one of those things, isn't it? It's just is what it is for a car of an age and mileage.
It's a 10-year-old Jag with 150,000 miles on it. It's fine. I'm not upset by it. It's just, things I discovered.
Yeah. So yeah, I will. My stuff arrives tomorrow. I got some nice new Maguire stuff turning up.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, I need to replenish my stocks. I've completely run out of alloy wheel cleaner. That's a big problem.
No, that is an issue. Well, I say it's an issue. You got black wheels. No one cares.
No, because if I scrub hard enough, it'll go back to silver.
No, you want acid really for that, mate.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
A
couple of them are actually peeling in a couple of places, so they may be working on it themselves.
Oh, if it's anything like sunburn, Kaylee will just nip round and peel it all off for you.
Oh, lovely.
She loves a bit of that. You daren't get sunburnt near her because she'll have at you.
Oh dear, I don't think I needed to know that.
Yeah, it's that sort of thing where you go, "Are you all right? You're loving that far too much?"
We're almost getting into a fetish there. I thought maybe so.
Yeah, but loads of her friends do it as well. I thought it was odd, but apparently it's a female thing. They fucking love it.
They're peeling their blokes. No, that's not right.
But it immediately makes you think of Austin Powers and Goldmember. Or I should keep her.
Smoking a waffle.
Yeah. Oh, it's so
okay. Fun. Yes, that is where we've ended up, isn't it? Yes.
That's a reference that gets more niche with every year that goes on as well.
Oh, absolutely. I think there's probably a lot of people that don't know what we're talking about there.
Yeah. It's so much so one of Kaylee's friends, I made a reference to something Austin Powers related. This was a few years ago. And she's like, "What are you on about?" Like, Austin Powers. Like, "Oh, what's Austin Powers?" Like, "Oh, for fuck."
Oh, dear. Of course, there is one person you do need to explain it to.
Actually, I should jump in and explain it, but I'm pretty sure Phil has actually seen Austin Powers.
Oh, fair dues. Oh, I just assumed. I'm sorry. I did him a misservice there.
Yeah, no. I'll stand up for him. I'm sure he's mentioned it.
He has. Okay, fair enough. He is aware of that one then. That's fine. Good. Good.
Yes. But yeah, Kaylee's friend is not, and that upset me. And it's like, then you just go, right, how old are you? And you go, oh, really? I'll just leave. Yeah. Honestly, how did we get there? Because I was going to follow on from saying washing my car, and then somehow, it was the alloy wheels. That was it.
Peeling paint. Yeah, peeling lacquer. Yeah.
Right. So, our thoughts last week. We didn't have much of a debate about it because you and I both went, yeah, Kelly should get a Nissan Cube if she sells her van.
Yes.
It wasn't really a in-depth discussion.
It wasn't, although we did miss the obvious, of course.
Did we? What was the obvious?
Buy Mark 1 Focus.
Yeah, she won't do that either.
Yeah, I suspected that would be the case.
Yeah, that is the case. So she's been sort of throwing around ideas. So I was like, well, if you want, she's like, do you want me to just buy an estate? I was like, if you want. It's up to you. It's your car.
It's her car. Buy what you want. Yeah.
Then she's like, well, what should I buy? And like, we did touch on the fact that, like, probably a 3 Series Touring is, you're not going to get the one you want for the budget.
No, I mean, we're fairly certain on that. Yes.
Fairly certain.
You'll find one, but it won't be the one you want. No.
But you take your budget and you apply some thought. And I was finding very well spec'd, very good age, very good mileage. So I found some Octavia VRS estates.
Oh yeah, no, that's
not bad. That's not a bad shout, is it?
That's not a bad shout. No, that could work. Yeah, that could work. Yeah.
And I showed her a few. She's like, oh, actually look all right, and I think they do. I think they look all right.
Yeah, they do.
And if you're happy enough flicking around a bit, you will actually find some in proper colours as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Like she was quite taken with a really vivid blue one.
Okay.
Good service history, relatively low mileage actually. Manual, lovely.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that's a contender. She did go a little bit down the Skoda rabbit hole and started looking at Yetis.
Okay. Well, that okay.
Which probably not as big, I'll grant you, but I mean, you can't knock it for not being practical. People love those things.
It's quite sort of chunky, isn't it? It's you could do worse. Yeah, you could do worse than that. If you can get past the badge, there is not like that. There is some value to be had there.
I've gone of the snobbery of the badge, I would say.
Yeah.
I have no problem with it. My aunt and uncle have a Yeti, and it's really good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they just use it for them, their stuff, and dogs, and it just does everything.
Yeah, well, they do, don't they? They do. Immensely practical thing.
And I know it's not interesting by any stretch, but this car isn't meant to be interesting. It's meant to be a useful one. And for once, it's not me.
You've cornered interesting. All the interesting is in your corner.
Yeah, that's the thing. I got in there early and bought a car that I quite fancied.
You've done interesting very well. Yes.
For the first time ever in my existence, I have an interesting car.
You do.
Yeah.
And I still haven't seen it.
That is a blunder, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pathetic, but I knew it would happen.
There's too much life in the way.
Yes. And you still haven't driven the Jag, which is another blunder.
We're shit at this.
We are rubbish at this. Yes.
Yeah.
And we haven't watched Die Another Day, but that's another matter.
Oh, don't start on that.
I know people had forgotten.
No, I don't think. There's going to be some pedantic listeners out there going, "Oh, where's my Die Another Day review?" Oh, yes. It's coming. I tell you what, you can have an interlude. Pierce Brosnan was 71 last week.
He was. Sake. It was
how
Bros's birthday. Yeah, I know. And look at him.
I know. I know you. It's if I get to 71 and look anywhere near as in good repair as he does, I'll be happy.
I don't look that good now.
No.
Let alone 71.
No, we both look like distended ball bags at this point.
It was COVID. It started something.
Yeah. Oh God, that can't be the name of the episode.
Oh no. YouTube don't allow that.
No. Oh dear. So
no,
yeah, sorry.
That can't be the name of the episode. You're quite right.
What was I saying? Skodas.
Yes, there is great interest in Skodas variously. Yes.
Yeah. And you brought up the badge snobbery. I don't think badge snobbery could be a thing because I know through work you had that Octavia for a while, didn't you? Mm-hmm. As the runabout.
It was our pool car, yeah, that's right.
And I drove that one.
Yeah,
it's brilliant.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I mean, I know it was Golf, and I know the current one is still a Golf.
Yeah, well, they all are, aren't they?
It's just platform sharing.
It is.
It's just a well-built bit of kit.
Yeah, it is. You won't go wrong with that. I can't criticize that.
No,
you could do a lot worse than that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it feels quite nice to go in. All right. It means that Kaylee has to deal with having the boring car because she's had quite interesting ones.
In the past, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, interesting I mean,
it's a sliding scale.
I didn't really like her Beetle convertible, for instance, but she loved it.
No, not for you, but nevertheless interesting.
Yeah, a bit different.
Yeah.
Fair play. She loved that
Yeah.
thing. She had
And there's all the Hitler references to be had, which is always fun.
Yeah. You never get bored
Yes.
of that.
Yeah, especially if you're sitting in the back, you've got all the.
God, I did a couple of times. Awful.
There you go.
Although more roomy in the back than my car.
Yeah. That's sort of deliberate, though, wasn't it?
It was. I mean, I put such a positive spin on that. I can barely get Edward in there.
Oh, really? Is it that bad?
And he's like, when they line up to pick him up from school, you look at him in the line and go, he's actually one of the shorter ones. So if he gets much bigger, we're knackered.
You got a serious problem there. Yeah.
Yeah. So better buy a Skoda Sharpish.
Yeah, I'd like to say that would be more reliable than a 3 Series as well.
Yeah, especially for the one you're buying for the equivalent amount of money.
That's what I mean. Yeah, not the 3 Series in general, but the sort of 3 Series that you would be looking at. Yeah, I think the Skoda's probably a better buy.
I mean, I don't know if Kaylee's locked in yet. I mean, I thought Octavia VRS Estate was a really good shout, but it's probably me looking at it through my eyes going, yeah, I'd probably have one of those.
Yeah, well, it's difficult for us, isn't it? Because we can't help but look at it through our eyes.
Yeah, and go, oh, there you go. It's all right. It's not the sportiest estate in the world, but it's not sluggish.
No, I'd give quite a few things a run for their money. Yeah,
but we'll see on that one.
Okay.
Because there's been the odd occasion where she's just gone, well, actually, I'll just buy something silly.
Well,
yeah, but that means if we need to go anywhere, we need to take 2 silly cars.
Silly cars. You've got nothing practical at all.
Which part of my brain goes, do it?
Yeah. Yes, let's just do it and we'll work it out as we go.
We'll just have to save up our pennies and spend it all on petrol.
Yeah, well, yeah, quite. That's the thing, isn't it? If Dawn buys an MX-5, part of me wants to go and get a XKR, and then we've got 2 ridiculously impractical cars. But, what can you do?
Kaylee's favourite silly car, well, the top of her list silly car at the moment is a Citroen DS3 Racing.
Oh, that's very silly. Yeah. Well, I say it's very silly. It looks very silly. It's probably actually not as silly as it looks.
No, that's fair.
Because in terms of practicality, I don't think they're actually not too bad, but it does look very silly.
I think, though, there's a hint of silly because it's... Let me just confirm it rather than speculate. But I'm pretty sure it's only 2 seats in the back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, it's not. Actually, no.
I thought it was a proper hatch with proper seat in the back.
Well, proper seat. It looks like some sort of torture device, let's be fair.
Well, they all do.
Hang on. I'm going in. Citroen DS3 search. Do you have any racing? One for sale. Fucking
hell. Popular then.
Well, rare. It's not actually big numbers of these.
No.
Yeah, it looks like. Yeah, it looks like you still get 3 in the back. But yeah, that is top of our list. Not that one though. That's been fingered with an inch of its life.
You don't want. You need standard.
I mean, that's not even close to standard. That one. Awful.
But okay, so we've got a work in progress there.
Well, we've got two extremes there. We could have a Skoda or a Citroen DS3 Racing.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's that big bit of my brain that goes, "Oh yeah, go on, buy a hot hatch, do it now."
Yeah. Yes, I agree.
Because
I agree.
But it then comes back to the need to do a tip run.
Well, then you're phoning me up, aren't you? Saying, "Can I have a lend of the sport brake?"
Yeah. Well, I had to do a tip run at the weekend.
Oh, okay.
It's quite amusing trying to take a quite small lowered car to the tip.
Oh, yeah. It's not meant for that.
I took it to the Bideford one, which is a little more forgiving in terms of speed bumps. What's really funny, because it was a Saturday morning. Was it Saturday morning? Sunday morning? A weekend morning. And
well, there's two to choose from.
There are. I can't remember when it was. Honestly, this weekend gone was just a blur of jobs. And we arrived there, and you know what it's like. That's your tip of choice.
It is. They're much more friendly there than they are.
Yeah, really helpful, really nice.
Yeah,
people.
They are. Yeah.
And there was quite a large amount of people who turned up to deposit their recycling, but they get people in and out pretty quick.
Yeah, it's quite well marshalled in there. Yeah,
it is. So we were waiting there for only a few moments, not a problem at all. But there was one guy there who turned up in this Tesla, and he wanted to, because it was busy. All of the bays were full, and they were just saying park anywhere. But as soon as the space becomes available, park in it, please.
Mm-hmm.
And he was having an altercation with the gentleman directing people. He said that he wanted to dispose of things that were up the top end and wanted to wait for a parking space up there because he didn't want to carry the things.
Right.
There was the chap working at the recycling centre. Started off friendly, but really turned.
He didn't end up friendly.
No, that was it. It was sort of saying, look, you're holding everyone up. Go up. Just park in whatever is available. This is not the way the system works. We don't make it so that you can just get out of your car with utter ease and walk the shortest distance possible. Stop being
You rarely, unless you're like on a 11 o'clock on a Tuesday morning, you rarely get to park in front of the thing where your stuff needs to go. That's not how it works. No, there's always a bit of carrying. That's just to be expected.
Yes, but he was having none of it. He didn't like that at all.
Oh, has he been to recycling before? Does he know how it works? Obviously not.
No.
Oh, this is such a worrying trend that all the knobs seem to be ending up in Teslas. It's very disappointing. But it does seem to be happening. I'm concerned by this.
Unfortunately, it's a brush that you can be tarred with, and it's, well, as Chris well knows, when you buy one, it comes with baggage.
Well, it does. It didn't when I bought mine, but it does now.
No, I tell you what, it puts you in mind of that. I don't know if you remember it, the South Park episode when everyone buys a Prius.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone had to be saved from San Francisco because of the dense cloud of smog.
Yes.
Yeah.
That. Yes. Yeah, that I know. And I have to say, it has, because I was looking at Model S's again recently because they're really coming down in price, and I've kind of stopped again because as much as I love them, I am a bit put off again at the moment. And it's not the car. It's everything else around it.
That is the problem, isn't it?
It's not the car. It isn't the car; it's everything else.
And it's kind of, I don't know. It's probably a bit along, but nowhere near as extreme as Tesla at the moment. But the way that Apple is, it's not holding that holy grail status it once was.
No, not at all. Not at all.
They did themselves no favors with that iPad advert as well, by the way.
Don't know what you mean.
I can't believe that made it through all of the sort of planning and vetting and all that sort of stuff.
I don't know how much planning and vetting goes on anymore.
That was dreadful. But yes, I totally get it. I'm just going. It's one of those things that would make you think twice.
Well, it has done.
Well, it had. Yeah. Case in point.
Yeah, because I was looking at them a few weeks ago and thinking, oh, getting down to quite, look at that, look, 12, 11 grand, oh, they're on the way, look. And then, well, right after that, he fired a load of people from his supercharging team, and now he's hiring them all back again. And you read the stuff on, because I'm still on the owners' Facebook group.
Do you want me to do it? Yeah.
Go on.
Cuckoo. There we go. Sorry.
God, that's so creepy. And the amount of cars that are being keyed and trouble with people at superchargers, and and as much as I love the car, I just don't know if I want to get into all that at the moment.
I totally get that, and I appreciate the fact that it's even a percentage of that must be because how much I will wind you up about that.
I haven't really taken any notice of you. I mean, you were doing that when I had one.
I just feel like I'd ramp it up a bit more this time.
Yeah, you probably would. Yeah, you probably would. It might start to dominate the podcast, though, which could affect listenership. So,
No, people would love it. I reckon there'd be a boost in numbers.
That's not a good enough reason to do it.
No. Well, actually, that's why everyone on the internet does it.
Well, of course.
Go and buy a car for reactions.
Yes. Well, in that case, we need to go and buy some sort of broken Lamborghini that we're going to rebuild in a garage.
I don't want to do that.
No, no. I just right now I feel happier in a Jag.
That's fine, and I get that.
Even though they are in complete disarray.
They are in disarray. I mean, oh God, let's not get on to that again. I'll tell you what. Before we wrap things up, we were on electric cars there.
Briefly, yeah.
There's a particular model of electric car that I've been seeing a lot more of frequently, and it's one that when it first came out I really struggled with it, but I've seen it a lot more in person of late, and dare I say I don't mind it so much now to look at.
Okay.
And that is a Hyundai Ioniq 6.
Oh, the droopy bum.
Yeah.
That's interesting you said that. I've been out and about driving a bit more this week. I've had meetings and things to go to, and I think I've seen 3 this week, just around locally.
Yeah, there's more out and about at the moment. And
well, they're a really good price and they're practical and you get loads of good stuff on them. I'm still not convinced about the look though.
Yeah, you see, every time I see him, it's okay. Actually, yeah, all right, fair play for doing something different. It just grows on me every time.
It's the back end, though.
Yeah, I know. It's not right, but it doesn't seem to be bothering me as much.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's weird. I can't explain it. I mean, I'm not going to rush out and buy one. Don't get me wrong, but
do you know what it puts me in mind of?
I've got a suggestion, but go on.
design-wise, it puts me in mind of a Peugeot 504.
504 is interesting. I was going to go for a French car.
Okay.
I was going to say it's reminiscent of a Citroen DS.
It's not that good looking, though, is it?
It's not that good looking.
Anywhere near as good looking.
But you can see where I'm going with it.
I can see where you're going. And with the 504, it's the droopy bum.
Yeah. Definitely.
And it's baddies chasing Roger Moore in a Citroen 2CV.
Backwards walks quickly.
Exactly.
All of that. We can't call it that. I've already named the episode with that once, I think.
Love a drive in the country.
Yeah. It's it's one of those things. I mean, it's fair play for being different in the same way the Ioniq 5 was different.
Now that I really like. I have been in one of those. That I really like. I think that looks tremendous. The 6, I remain unconvinced. I'm not saying it isn't a good car. I'm not convinced of it looks.
Fair enough.
I remain. I agree. It looks better in person than it does in pictures.
Yeah. For definite. Yeah.
As does, interestingly, because I was followed by a vehicle this week. I had a little Jaguar convoy going on. I was followed for a distance on one of my journeys this week by an I-Pace. And
I'm sorry to hear that.
I was looking at that and thought, yeah, see, that does look better than it does in pictures. I don't want one. I'm not saying I want one. I'm not saying it looks like a Jag. I think it was a huge missed opportunity, but and remains so because they don't market it properly. But it does look better in person than it does in pictures.
You know my opinion on it.
I'm allowed mine too. What about you?
I just think that the side profile, it's they've went, oh yeah, we'll just do an SUV, and they've done it for the packaging thing. Because if they've been cleverer about the packaging, that design in a much more squat stance, less height on it, would have been fine.
Yes, I agree.
In the same way that when you look at a Polestar 2, you go, that's too high up.
That's a car that's really grown on me, though.
Don't get me wrong, I don't mind a Polestar 2, but it's still too tall because the packaging is off. In the same, the I-Pace suffers from the same thing.
It does. I'm not saying I like it. I'm saying it looks better in person than it does in pictures.
I'll let you have that because I probably agree, but it's still not a car that is desirable or well thought out.
Well, as an EV, it isn't good enough. It never has been.
No.
There are much better options.
Well, and it was just plagued with issues when it was released as well.
It wasn't ready, was it? When they launched it, they were desperate to get something out before the Model 3 hit the UK, and they rushed it, and it wasn't ready. It absolutely wasn't ready. It was riddled with problems when they first launched it.
No, not good.
I have sat in one actually. The cockpit's lovely. The cockpit is really nice.
No, I don't doubt it's a really nice place to sit.
Yeah, I had a go in one at or a sit in one. I didn't have a go in it. I had a sit in one at Silverstone, and sitting in the driver's seat, it's a really nice place to be. But from the outside, it doesn't look like a Jag. Never has.
No.
Anyway.
No.
I digress. But I was followed by one for a distance this week, and I felt quite content in my sport brake. But I
do like your car. I mean, I don't like your wheels, but I like your car.
You like the? They may change colour at some point. We'll see. But yeah, I'm very happy with it. Although still have a hankering for a V8. But we might get there too.
Of course you do. Of course you do. That's fine.
Yeah,
perfectly natural.
I might have an accident if an XF RS Sport Brake came onto the market, although they never do. So,
well, no, they don't. And the trouble is, it's like the price that goes with it.
50 grand. Yeah, that is the trouble, isn't it? That's the one we want. That's the car we want.
Well, yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? Because when we get to that sort of price range again, we've got a few fast estates that we would all find very agreeable.
We are rather partial to a fast estate car, aren't we?
Yeah. I mean, the RS6 with the Lamborghini engine, yes.
Oh yeah, and we're not even Audi people, really.
No, that's one that could easily. Or the previous generation RS6, because it makes us think we're in layer cake.
Oh, there is an element of that. Yes, that's true. Yes, that's a very good point.
Oh, I tell you what, I mean, can we not just review that instead of Die Another Day?
Well, we should. It is Bond related, after all.
Well, we know that it's what propelled Daniel Craig into the role.
Yes, it was. It was the movie Barbara Broccoli watched and said, "That's our man."
Yep, and she hasn't put him down since.
Yeah, it's a problem. Yeah,
it is. Oh. See, how much more do you want to watch that than Die Another Day?
Oh, a lot. A lot. Yeah, by several orders of magnitude. I would rather watch that. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Oh, it is a good film.
Yeah, it is. It's tremendous. And as you say, the Audi is perfect in it, even though it's an Audi and we're not particularly into them.
But the reason that Audi is perfect is because it wasn't overstyled. It was such a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yeah, it's true. Yes, and I like that.
That is wonderful, and I know we shouldn't gush too much about the film, especially if we're going to do a review on it. Now we've suggested it, but the story, the casting, the cars, the music.
It's a great selection of cars, isn't it?
Yeah. And oh dear, no, I've lost focus. Right, okay, sod it. Let's wrap it up there. If we're going to get you, in all fairness, you are probably going to get a layer cake review before a Die Another Day one. Let's be honest.
Yes, that's quite likely because we're probably, now we've reminded ourselves of it, we're probably going to go off and watch it.
Well, we should apologise, but we won't. It's our podcast. Enjoy your layer cake review when we do that next.
We'll do what we want. We could agree to skip Die Another Day.
No, we don't skip. We just delay.
and delay and delay and delay.
Yeah, but while we're delaying,
like a former president in a courtroom, we deny and we delay.
We can't. Oh, actually, should we mention, in terms of ridiculous politicians, did you watch the live speech from
I didn't
Prime Minister Mr. Sunak?
I didn't watch it live, but I have since watched it, yes.
I watched it live, and it was beautiful because they couldn't tweak the audio because it was going out live.
Indeed. And I noticed there was a nice little play on words in the BBC's coverage of that, where they said that Labour's 1997 election anthem, "Things Can Only Get Better," was blaring down number 10.
You see what they did there?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's that thing of going, right, well, it's so on point because the song title is perfection.
Yes.
For the situation, and it was the anthem of the 97 election.
Yes.
And the thing of going, Mr. Sunak is saying that he does have a plan, and it's like, well, you couldn't even bring an umbrella with you, mate.
I know, that's another one of your silly slim fit suits ruined, isn't it?
That's it. And what's even funnier is when they cut, there's some footage on Twitter of the source of the music blaring over the top of his speech. And considering that Mr. Sunak suggested that he does have a plan, it's not as well executed as the plan of the person blowing the music, because Even the speaker had an umbrella that was blasting it out.
Yeah, it was beautifully done, beautifully executed, and he looked like an idiot as usual.
I mean, it's the most idiotic thing I have ever seen. I think I mean, we've seen a fair amount of stupidity in terms of how our politicians behave, but that was off the charts.
We've had a good few speeches in front of that black door in the last few years from various prime ministers. We've been through quite a few lately.
Yeah.
And that one is the most ridiculous. Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely the most ridiculous.
I've not seen anything like it, and I didn't expect us to finish on a political thing, but it's just, you know what? I will not be sad to see the back of him. He needs to get out, and get out sooner than the 4th of July.
Well, he's certainly going to lose. I don't think we need to worry about that.
No, I don't think that's a concern, but yeah.
No, he is out of here, and we'll be able to start speculating on what the next prime ministerial car will be, because, of course, there's no more Jag XJ.
Ah, no, that's good. Oh, I tell you, that's got.
See, I've pulled us back there at the last minute.
You pulled us back there, but let's leave that at a cliffhanger. What will be the prime minister's car after we've had our general election malarkey? Because there's some contenders, and I think we should cover it.
I've got some ideas on that. Yeah, I've got some definite ideas on that. Yes, we'll revisit that, but let us know what you think.
Well, I think that's probably enough of that for this week. Check us out on all the various social medias and things. Thank you very much for listening.